Welcome everyone. So if you do not have a resistance band, it's not a big deal. You can join us anyway.
So exercises that you did, you mentioned your ankle. So
you remember when
So some of this might be familiar. Yeah. They take a lot of Pilates exercises too. I'm going to start first. How is it quite intertwined, it seems? And then you have the length for it as well. How long do you have? Yeah. Comfortable. We're going to start with a little bit of foot stretch.
Yeah, maybe.
Love it. And then I try my best not to, have it crinkled. You want it nice and all we're going to do is point and flex in the foot. Can you see me? Should I back up a little bit?
Yes.
I see from the rib cage up to the top of the head, not necessarily the legs, but that's as long as you're not needing me to adjust. I might sit against the wall for a second. That's it. I'm just going to point and flex. And then you can add some resistance there if you like. And then also into the toes. And then just changing direction. And we'll add an ankle roll. Any of that feel uncomfortable? I would probably just have you release the band a little bit. And then we're going to just switch legs. And for the record, that's how when we lie down, that is also how we would change, is you just bring one foot in and the other, providing that there's not any back pain. That's it. And you can choose to use one hand or two. Often better, that way you can stay in your neutral. Yeah. You can feel how you resist in both directions, and then try to point and flex the toes as well as the foot. Looks good. And then an ankle circle. So interesting, I haven't done this in a while. It's taking a little bit of coordination.
No, it's good. Yeah.
I was just going to bring both feet into the band. Might have to stretch that out a little bit. And then we'll just go into a stretch forward. So sitting as tall as you can. You can either walk yourself forward or you can pull the ropes to you. And then explore squeezing the legs. Yeah. So you can be in a tall spine or you can be in a pelvic tilt, whatever feels good. And you can squeeze the top of the legs. Yeah. And then we'll lift back up. Good. And go ahead and come off of that. And we'll come up to the front of the mat. We're going to try your body rolls. Oh. Any better? Not yet. I have time. But we're gonna attack. That's it. So we're just gonna do some pelvic tilts here. Tighten up. So I'm gonna try to get you to inhale as we elevate, re-lengthen rather, and then exhale as we go back into your pelvic tilt. Now I know we did a little breathing work last week. Do you want to leave time for that again today? Okay.
Practicing a little bit.
This takes a while to learn. So even if the movement and the breath is too complicated, just make sure that you're not holding your breath. Now, I'm going to start to use the band here. So I'm pulling a little bit strongly out to the side. And then you could draw the shoulders down a little bit. So it is a little bit in the wrist. So with that, you can have your arms straight like that, or in a kind of a circular, and that way you can lift the elbows up and get a little bit stretched down the back as well. That's harder. Okay, one more. Leg, just so you could roll right down to the floor. And then this leg, we're going to use the band with. So depending on your flexibility, you might want to put it on before you lower back down, or just take your time. So I've got the band on the feet, the ball of the foot, and then you could choose to hang on with one or two arms. Just be mindful that if it's one arm that you're not twisting. We're still wanting to work in our center. All right, I'm just going to release this a little bit and tighten the tummy. We're just going to lower the leg towards the floor, if not all the way down, and then back up. And that's it. But engage, add your best breath work. Just be mindful of the wrists. If you deal with wrist pain, you want to keep those in neutral. Nice work. So keep the core engaged, because eventually we're going to have both legs in the rope, and it gets a lot stronger. Let's do one more. And then as you come up, we're going to circle the legs. So here I'm going to change to one hand. I'm going to pull the leg out to the side. Feel inner thigh stretch, down, around, and up. And then just try your best to keep the pelvis still. Breathing, and probably inhale out. And as it comes back, there's your exhale. Depending on what works, you could do the whole breath. Tightening the tummy. Nice support, isn't it, with the ropes? When I say that, like I'm on the reformer, the resistance band. Nice work, Viv. So before we go the other direction, I'm just going to change the exercise first. We're going to pull the other leg up. Both feet are there. And you're going to bend the knees into the chest. And then we kick out to about 45 degrees. Now you'll notice that maybe that lower back lifts off the mat. So if that's the case, don't go so low. Just coming up. And then try to actively engage tummy and glutes and the outside of the glutes and the back of the legs, inner thighs. So as you exhale, you tighten. You're intending to keep everything engaged as you inhale back in. Exhale, exhale, exhale. This is great for the foot too. You can stretch the toes. We're going to do 3 more. And 2, looks good. Lateral breath. And then we're going to change exercise. Same leg circle on the same leg, but the other direction. I'm going to go ahead and lengthen both legs. It's up to you if you want. And then you're going to cross over and then down. So I'm kind of moving the arm with the band here rather than keeping still. But I think it might be more so that I just don't have the range of the resistance band, and I don't want it to be too difficult or too strong. Still want to have some give in that band, so moving with it. Tighten the tummy. Practice the breath work here. You're going to do 3 more. Inhale down. Tighten the tummy. Exhale back up. Relax the shoulders. So nice stretch down the leg too. And back up. Let's go back into that double leg again. Bend it in. Keep the core. And you can have the feet further apart if you want. So that way, if it's not comfortable, you can have the knees come to the side of the body rather than into the tummy. And then and squeeze. I feel a lot of lower tummy there. Don't know about you. Now, exhale, tummy, 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 tummy. You can feel the navel pulling down towards the spine as you push the legs away. We'll just do 1 more. The more muscles you use, the better. Good. And let's just bring the foot to the floor. We're going to go to the circle in the other direction. Might have to move away from them wall a little bit. You still see me?
The other leg, yeah. Oh,
Turn around.
remember. Oh, yeah, no, that one.
How's that leg?
Yes. So I think this is the other direction.
Can't hear you very well, but as long as you're all right, looks good to me. Practice the breath. We're going to do one more time around. And then as your circle completes, let's add the second foot up, like more than two. And here, I'm gonna just keep both hands on the band and we'll come up tight to the legs, just so you can point and flex. Keep that tummy engaged. Can you feel all 10 toes extending, then all 10 toes and fold of the foot, the arch of the foot. Then as you flex your feet, you can feel the energy pushing out of the heel. Lengthen the neck. Think about where you're holding any tension. And then as you come out of that, we'll go into the circle on the other direction. So the same foot. I'm going to go ahead and lengthen the leg like before. And we'll cross around and around. The band is doing a lot of the work here, so the leg could either relax while you do this, or you're really wrapping those muscles and really working strongly. Keep that core engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Two more. Big, big breath. And then as your circle finishes, let's do that again where you bring both feet into the band. Just going to soften the leg. Now here, we're going to just try our best to go side to side, left to right with both legs. So again, decide on how you're going to hold the resistance band. If you want more support or if you want to work harder, you're here. And you'll find as you come out to the side that one hip will lift up off the floor. You can bend the knees too. It doesn't have to be straight. I'm just going to rock. That's it. So I can feel that I'm massaging the lower back.
Yeah.
And then explore again what you like. Maybe you want to extend and add a point or a flex. Or maybe you want to keep it bent. So I'm going to start to go into something called the beginning stages of like a corkscrew effect, where we're going to go down one side, horseshoe around, and then back up the other side. Providing that your back's all right. So I only have one hand on right now, so it's a lot of stomach and back. So if you need more support, just bend the legs. Only go out as far as you're happy to. You can again just kick out and then back in. You don't have to go the full straight leg. Good. Your puppy's totally given up on us. He's not even coming over to say hi anymore. Good. Good. And then as you come out of that, we're just going to release one foot at a time down to the floor into your spine twist. And stuck in the knees, stuck in the ankles. Just deepening the breath. And slowly coming through your center to the other side. Can you see the big spider behind me on the wall?
I can. Hope not. Oh, yes.
I'm freaked out right now. I don't know if I should move or stay still. You little son of a beep. We saw a big one a couple of days ago. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put that one. I hate spiders. Oh my gosh. That looks good. And let's bring you into your bridge. Okay, so when you come back into, oh, I've got the shivers. When you come back into your neutral, I'm going to just bring your hands up over your chest, and then we'll lift up and down. So as you lift your hips, the arms are going to go to the floor behind you, and then you can lower the hips down, give or take if you've got room. Otherwise, just place your hands where they're most comfortable. Yeah, so Veronica caught a spider the other day with a tissue. It was really big, and it looked like it had left a bite mark or venom or something. But maybe it just had a little accident. I don't know. I don't know if there's any poisonous spiders around here, but it's making me shiver. Sorry that interruption. It's a nice stretch up the back. All 10 toes on the floor and the heel. So when you press up using the entire foot, each side, back the leg. Okay, we'll do 2 more. After your second one, go ahead and go back into a spine twist. And just cross side to side. I have no idea where it came from. Now I'm worried that they're like all around me. The thing is, I've been teaching like since this is my 3rd or 4th class today, so I don't understand why all of a sudden I show this up. Okay, so I'm going to try to get you to do your roll-ups from here. I'm going to pull one knee into the chest. What we could do is keep the band next to you, and then lifting head, neck, and shoulder. And then with that leg, you're just pushing away as if you're going to roll up. And then as you come down, we're going to do the same on the other leg. So I just want to kind of make sure that your back is okay, your hips are all right. This is how I do that. One side might feel a little bit easier. You could also have your hand lower down. Use a little bit of momentum. Up there. And then you can try to kick yourself up. And do.
Nearly.
Up again. Are you comfortable? I know that the knees can be a little sensitive, but are you comfortable like that?
Yes.
If not, you could be here. Whatever, which option do you find best for you today?
Let's move back a bit.
You don't see any other spiders, do you?
Just small ones I don't mind,
I'm
but
surprised I handed that one.
yeah,
Probably was watching. Otherwise, I'd been like,
I would have killed.
It's a little difficult because we have to balance, and a lot of body weight is in the knee and the hand. And the elbow pointing to the ceiling.
Okay. Oh.
That's it. We'll just do 1 or 2 more. Not always comfortable. Not that our exercises are supposed to be comfortable. And then we'll come down onto the knee. Keeping the resistance band, going into cat stretch. Pushing the floor away there. Tightening the stomach. Good. And then find your neutral. So the same leg, your left leg, you extend out. It's my right, your left. And then just adding the footwork there. You can point and flex. And I'm pushing into the floor. You can feel a nice stretch down the toes, into the calf muscles. Do 3 more. 2, 6. And then from here, you're going to come down onto the forearms. Now you can, just like before, use the band. So I'm doing essentially this position, but I'm stretching the band. So it is quite challenging. And then your knee, place where it's either very comfortable and supportive, or if you want to make it harder, you make it a little bit wider and further back and tuck the toes under. And then we're just going to lift the leg up and down. So there's a lot going on. We're pulling the resistance. That's it. Keep the body weight equally over the legs and the arms. 2 more. And then we push back into your child pose. And you could push the hands, you can let go of the band and push the hands into the floor for more support, or just taking it nice and low. Good work. And then walking those hands towards you as you come back up. And just getting a little bit of release work from the shoulders, and then we'll go onto your other side. Okay. So we'll start again on that knee. I'm trying to get your foot right behind that support leg. That's it. And then if the wrist is sore, you don't have to hold it like this. You can just put your body weight on the band. And that way you can protect your wrist a little bit if it's really insensitive. Okay, so elbow facing the ceiling, and tighten up here. Looking up or down, whatever's best for your neck. Tighten that stomach. And shoulders down. So you might have more body weight in the arm. Eventually it'll be over the body, more center. Let's do 3 more. So your arms gets in there quite quickly. And then again, cat stretch, and then we'll go into the leg work. So pushing the floor away. And obviously, if you need to rest, you can push back into child pose. And keep it going. We'll do 2 more, and then we'll move into our lower body. Big, big inhale. And exhale. Make sure you curve that spine too. Get it push, push, push. There, that's better. Can you feel it in your lower back? Do that exercise over the knee or over the hands. You don't, or center. So it feels different each time. Okay. So now we're going to take it down to the floor. Again, I'm going to use the band and pretty much try to keep the elbows right under the shoulder, which is challenging. That's it. Stabilize the shoulders, find your neutral. Extend that leg. And then just up and down. And you'll feel yourself kind of falling out of your alignment.
Yeah.
Good. Try for 2 more. And we'll come up going into the foot stretch. which is just a stretch into the toes and the calf. Tighten the tummy. Nice long spine. Making sure that you're not hanging down in the head too. 2 more. Definitely from my arms, but it might have been from earlier this morning. Good work. Nice. And then we'll come right back up onto a kneeling position. Okay. So far, so good. Yeah, I was going to say you can do your shoulder rolls, or if you feel you need to stretch your arms. All right, so I'm going to start to attack the sides of the tummy, position we were just in. So options, you could bend this leg, or if you're advancing and you've got the flexibility in the hip, you're straight. And I'm still, like, we're between 2 pieces of glass. Option long leg or option short. All right, tighten up here. Then I'm going to try to get you to reach up to the ceiling. And you're going to lift off the floor and then back down. Good. And if you're coordinating your breath with this, let's exhale up, control down on the inhale. Have to touch the floor if you don't want to, go crazy. Oof. Quite strong today, I don't know why. What do you say?
Looks easy.
No, looks easy. Last one. And then she's out of breath. Let's rest back. Either what would be good to do is to get out of that knee a little bit with footwork if you have some energy in you. Otherwise, cat stretch or child pose. You can even kick the leg up if you're so inclined to shake it out a little bit. Okay, once we catch our breath, let's try the other side. So far, so good, eh?
Yeah.
So here you can feel the level of your hip line. So eventually we'll target that as well, but today we just do what feels right. Body always presents a little bit differently on each side. I'm going to squeeze the glute here too. This is my weaker side, so protecting your hip. Engage. And let's see how we do. Good. If it's uncomfortable in the shoulder, you can lower the arm. You can just do it this way. And then we get to a bigger range. That's it. Nice work, Viv. And 4. Definitely feel this today. And 3. It could be all the carbs that I had yesterday. And 2, or was it the day before? We made a pasta bolognese. It was so nice. And 1. Good. And then again, shaking right off of the knee there. Kick it back. One more time. And into your cat stretch. Deep in the breath. Good. So here we're going to go into the thread the needle. So I'm going to bring the left hand under the right arm, palm up, and take it right down. And then you can push back up, unless you want to hang out there. And then choose to reach up to the ceiling. Tighten up the tummy. This can feel quite challenging if you hold your tension in your back, but doing pretty well. We'll do 1 more. Good. And then choose where you want to go with that. Whether you do a child pose or just a little stretch. And we'll go right to the other side, to the top of the hand on the floor. Inhale under. Exhale. Push that breath. Deepen the breath. Beautiful. Yeah. And after that last one, we'll take it down to the mat. So you're comfortable lying on your side, on your hips?
Yes.
Is again, we'll use the band on our foot, and then we'll do some more leg work if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Just do the work without the band. So I thought it would be easier to put it on now. Here.
Yeah. Top one.
Yeah. And just be mindful of the placement there. So if you do lose sight of it, it doesn't come back and hit you in the face. So we'll come forward and then up, stretching it towards you. That's it, and then down. And I'm gonna start to have my hands stay at the hip line. And I'm parallel to the floor. Then again, parallel, if that's the right word. Then the toe is facing me, and then the toe faces me as I lower down. Switch gets right into there. Yeah. Good. So as you lower here, we're going to kick behind us now. And then forward. Square the hips. Good work. Is your shoulder okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Just do one more. The energy coming right through that leg. Hold or held about just slightly above the hip line. Squeeze your glutes. And that lower leg is going to lift up towards the top leg. And down. 2. And down. Good. And 1. Nice work. Take that out. So if it gets into the neck, it can happen. Just relax there. We're going to go into a chest opener. And you could choose to go a circle over the head or up and over, which I think I might keep to today. And then back again. That's it. So if you don't have room, what you can do is have both hands behind the head and you open the elbow. Also look that way so you get a neck stretch. I can feel it right down into the glutes actually. And back. And back. Okay. Coming back onto your back. Remember what side you've done. And we're just going to lie here for some pelvic tilts. You might feel that you're a little bit wonky, but we might have just realigned you. So let's just do a little bit of pelvic tilt work. Just rocking the hips, not lifting. So the lower back goes towards the floor without too much pressure, and then just release. Deepen the breath. And exhale. You can try your lateral breath here while we're here. So you can have your hands on the ribs. And just feel for the breath here as you move your pelvis back and forth. Intending to breathe into the ribs, sides and back. Neck is nice and long, shoulders relaxed. Let's do 3 more, and then we'll try our roll up again. 2. Good. Hands go behind the head, and we're going to lift head, neck, shoulders, and down. That's it. And just keep that going. Feel for the spine flexion. So you have the entire length of the mat, and then we just massage one at a time. Try and get higher and higher and higher. Good. Okay, one more time. And then what we'll do is the same again. Grab the leg. You could choose to come up. Both legs could be up this time, and we start to rock. Both legs could be up this time, and we start to rock.
Oh, I did
You
that.
did it!
I did it holding on, yes, with both. Yeah. Is that
Yay!
that's something?
So excited.
A bit of an improvement.
Try
Yeah.
this too. It might help. It's tricky though, because sometimes it can lay in the back or in the neck. But as you just did that, it should be okay. So I'm just going to kind of hook the resistance down on the feet, and you've got some play with the resistance band here in the arms. And the idea is just to use it to help you go back down and back up again. So the feet could be wherever you need them to be. Yeah. And if it does get into the back, it's good practice because you would have a little bit of, feedback from whatever pillow is needed. What do you think? It's okay? Excited?
Yeah. Very good.
So close. We'll get there. Let's turn around and do the legs on the other side. And again, if your neck is getting tired, you can grab a pillow or something.
Okay.
In this instance, it's a little bit easier. So I'm making sure that they're 50-50. Sure, it's driving me crazy. Okay. Good. So the hip feels okay, right?
Yeah.
Engage the glutes here. Connect in, tighten up, be aware of any extra tension, and then we'll just pull forward. Good. Just feeling it out here and up. The bottom leg I'm actively pushing into the floor and then down. So I'm holding it quite firmly because this hip's a little bit tired today, but you can release it if you want to for less support. Okay, so the toe face me, so you can feel a stretch down the back of the leg, inner thighs. And it's a combination of the leg actively working and the resistance band supporting it quite a bit. Hence the different intensities here. So you can feel it, yeah, hamstring, inner thigh. Nice. You okay with that? We'll do that pendulum back and forth. And then kind of hang on to the hip here and we'll push back. And up. You okay?
Yeah, just
I'm glad that it didn't come back at you.
Mhm.
There you go. So if you're okay from there, bottom leg is going to try to come and get to the top.
Yeah.
On the hip. Roll off a little bit. Sometimes that helps. And if it's still a struggle, just bend the knee. It's a little bit hard having to hold the band and do that. So the other option would just be to let go of that. And then if you can't balance. Oh. So tell me what about this option where you've got your knees bent and just the top leg, which is more difficult, this one, or do you think it's the bottom leg? If we were to hold this up and lift the bottom, help your back. I think we found the reason. That's it. So this is called a clam, the one that you're doing. It's nice to practice, and it will help if there's any history there from your tight broken ankle too. Yeah. Size. This is very tricky. So option one, you tie a light knot because if you do it any tighter, you won't be able to undo it. And you just, maybe that's easier for today. So I'm not even doing it all the way. I'm just allowing it a little bit of twist so it doesn't come off my foot. So I'm going to go into a quad stretch. So you just lie on the tummy. This rope is going to come over, so it's a little bit off-putting because it's on my lower foot. But if I were to position it better, it'd be on the ball of the foot. Okay. And then you're here. You don't want it too tight that your hips are going to be, that you're impinging anywhere or compromised. So there's just a little bit of give. So I can feel a stretch on the front of my leg going down, or then you add your intensity. And you can add your footwork and everything. So ideally, this should be top like that. Unless you're able to grab your foot, yoga belt, those are very helpful as well. But if it's long enough, then you could untie it and just double loop it. But because of your knee, it's going to be too tricky, so it's longer. So do a different one, just because it occurs to me your knee is not going to like that today. Okay, so that same leg, we'll stretch again here. We might bring you to the floor. So that way, as you pull forward, you're going to be weighted in your left foot, my right. That's it. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
That's it. We could use the band here too, but as we're balancing. Okay, and then we'll just change legs. Okay. How does that side feel? Yeah, right down into the foot too. You did so well today. A lot of new stuff. Go ahead and go into your cat stretches. Or if you feel that you want to stretch your toes out again, you can add your legs to do some footwork. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you're getting a lot more movement. That's great. And then we'll just turn you around and just shaking the legs off.
Oh gosh, time's gone quickly. Yes, no, it's fantastic, Heidi. Honestly, it's so good. It's made a huge difference. No, it's great. Yeah.
That gave me a good little perspiration too. Are you? Am I messing your new hair up?